Hi everyone, welcome to another all-new episode of the Podcast Talks. My name is Nate, and alongside is my good buddy Omid. Hey Omid, how you been doing? It's been quite a while,
I know.
must I say?
What is up, Loud Crowd and Casa Guru? It has been a long while since we've done another one of these. We just took a really good and really fun break. And of course, as you can tell right now, well, as you can see, this is our first video with me as a 30-year-old. So
I know
yay
you've been
me.
celebrating. Look, by the way, we took a long break. Just the fact that Omid, I think, took like 3 weeks of celebrations to say. Like he literally went to Disneyland, and he literally went. He went to Disneyland one time, and then we also treated him out to food and everything. So, to say the least, you had a very big 30th.
Oh yeah, 3-course celebration. And of course,
Yeah.
I thank you, Nate, for playing a part of it. Well,
Yeah, most
specifically the
definitely.
first course,
So the
man.
first so the first week, so what happened is we're gonna go straight to our while we were away segment. The first week we actually were was it planning a meetup with a birthday party, considering that me and my friend we decided we went to another thing that we're gonna discuss later on during our break. But yeah, I treated Omid out to a Korean barbecue, a movie, plus other foods as well. So he ended up having a great 30th, like the week before the 30th. And then on his 30th birthday, he went to Disneyland. So you still
Yes.
ended up having a great time at Disneyland, by the way. And then here's another thing too. We didn't expect one of our followers, Ryan. Shout outs to Ryan Mead, by the way, because he actually gave a cameo to Omid, which I can play right here. So let's show it to the audience, shall we?
Yes. Prepare to get
Okay.
jealous, guys.
Prepare to get jealous. Oh man! So here's the cameo that everybody's saying here.
Oh, Mead, what's up, man?
Man, that's
This
Luda
is
Loud. That's literally
Luna.
Luda Loud, by the way.
Hey, Luna
Just
Loud.
that.
I heard it's your birthday.
Man, bro, man,
That's
this is amazing. Like how
amazing.
Luna Loud was
Happy
able to give you a
birthday,
birthday.
man.
And FYI,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, oh me. Happy birthday to you. What will Luna sing? Kings and queens and bishops too. One who is the best to you. So wish they watch. Say what he said. Birthday. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have a beautiful birthday. I hope all your dreams come true. All your wishes come true.
Yeah.
I hope this is one of your wishes. Luna Loud. Out, man. Sending you peace and love. And an amazing, amazing year.
damn. He even kissed you too. He even kissed you too. Dang. All right.
You can see right here the mark, the cheek mark.
When you received it, by the way, when you received that, by the way, how stunned were you? I mean, first off, I was shocked that one of our followers would give you a cameo of Nika Futterman, which she is on Cameo, by the way, and
Oh gosh.
address it to you for a birthday present, man. I mean, that's crazy.
Oh god, I was just like, oh gosh, it is beautiful. Everything about this is just so beautiful. Like this is more than just starstruck. This is just like, it's absolutely amazing. Very much shout outs to Ryan W. Mead, our good friend, for arranging for the actress of my favorite character of the Loud House to wish me a happy birthday. Like this is just, oh my god. But God bless Nika Futterman, God bless Ryan W. Mead, and God bless Luna Loud. This is just amazing, man.
So you first get a cameo from Luna Loud, who literally gave you an awesome birthday wish, which is an amazing thing for you, Omid, because it's literally saying that Luna was literally speaking to you.
He even said my name right. Like usually people don't really say my name right. They always like pronounce like Ahmed or Omed or something like that. But no, like he made sure that she pronounced my name right. So I'm just like, yes, that is like bonus points for that.
That was most bonus points for him. So yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to Ryan W. Mead, who actually gave the cameo to Omid. His birthday turned out to be quite a extravagant, with the fact that he went to he got a cameo from Luna, and also went to Disneyland. And I'll show a little bit of pictures from your trip there, Omid.
Yes.
So how can you explain a bit like how you like Disneyland? How has things changed since the pandemic and all that?
Oh God, yes. After over a decade of not going to Disneyland, like I've always yearned to go back. It's just like that, literally the happiest place on earth, and it's one of my most ideal. It's one of my most ideal vacation spots. I just adore Disneyland. I adore Disney. I've always adored Disneyland since I was a kid. So of course, I was very hyped. Like this was the best way to celebrate my 30th. Like honestly, throughout this entire month, this was always the magnum opus. And man, did it deliver. Like my mom pretty much paid for the trip. She pretty much
Nice.
paid for everything. My brother met up shortly, like on Friday. Like after my mom and
I
I
have a picture of you and your bro. There you go. There's the
Yes.
family that went to the trip.
Yes. God bless my family. So yeah, pretty much what happened was that on Friday, my mom and I walked around downtown Disney, and then on Saturday, me, my mom, and my brother. Well, my brother met up with us on the hotel Friday night, and then after that, like on Saturday, of course, we spent the whole day at Disneyland, going to many rides, such as like Indiana Jones, Haunted Mansion. Um, we even went to like the Millennium Falcon. We checked out
Nice.
Galaxy's
Oh,
Edge,
by
by
the
the way.
way, like,
Galaxy's
how
Edge is
is
really
that?
good.
How is that? Because I wanted to check out Star Wars Galaxy Edge, and what I don't know if there's anything. Oh, Avengers Campus, because you went to Avengers Campus too, and it seems that you had a fun time over there.
Yes. Avengers Campus was honestly one of the highlights of the entire trip because it's something that I've always wanted to check out ever since its announcement. Because, well, I am a Marvel fan and especially a huge MCU fan. So, of course, this is something I've always wanted to check out. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint.
So what do I expect from Avengers Campus? Am I going to see Iron Man? Are we going to see like most of the Avengers, like Black Panther, or one of my favorites?
We saw Spider-Man pretty much doing his thing,
Mhm.
like on the top, one of the top of the buildings. And then of course we saw Black Woman. No, Black
No,
Widow.
Black Widow. Black Widow.
We saw Black Widow. I meant to say Black Widow. I swear to God. We saw Black Widow pretty much performing her action stunts, doing her thing, and kicking some butt. Like everything you could see, you can expect out of an MCU movie. And yeah, those were fun. And of course, Avengers Campus. We even rode the Web Slinger ride, the new ride, the Spider-Man ride, which is really hard to get into. There's a long line, and
Oh, really? Oh, man.
it's one of the newer ones, but it was definitely worth the wait.
Did you even use that? Did you even use that Genie Plus thing? Because I thought it was needed to actually use that Genie Plus pass, but
We used Genie Plus, but we didn't use it for the ones that costed extra. Like for example, we tried to go
Lightning
to
Pass, the stupid Lightning Pass that they have now, where you have to pay extra to get to the first line.
It was only like you only have to pay extra on the two newest rides, Rise of the Resistance and the Spider-Man Web Slinger ride.
Okay. So,
but everything else, though, like as long as you get Genie Plus, you could use Lightning Lane to pretty much. It's pretty much like a modern Fast Pass in a sense, where
but Fast Pass is the best. Was the best.
Fast Pass is the better because it's for free, whereas with Genie Plus you have to pay.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh damn it, Disney, you're ruining my money, man.
It's worth it though. It's worth it. Trust me.
Okay. We're gonna discuss this later because we actually do have a planned trip coming up this September. So
yes,
yeah,
we do,
we do, and a friend of ours too, or she's also coming along as well. Anything else you want to bring up on your 30th birthday? You want to say a shout out to the fans for giving y'all happy birthdays and everything?
Yes, I just want to say this. Like honestly, like this was I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed and loved to see like all this like love coming from not just my family, not just my friends, but also with you guys, and especially some of those that did the fan art for me, like pretty much gave me like birthday artwork for my birthday. Like, oh my God, major shout outs to you guys, especially you guys are awesome. God bless you all. Like I've been showered with a lot of love, gifts, birthday events, like when you treated me out, and also especially Disneyland. And of course, after that, like the week after, of course, I had a birthday hangout, because it's been a birthday tradition of mine before the pandemic, where I would have birthday party and I would invite my friends. And now that the pandemic's getting much better, this is something I want to do again. And though the guesses was shorter than I expected, let me tell you, like
sorry we couldn't be able to make it. I'm sorry we both be able to make it.
Let me finish. Let me tell you though, it didn't bother me all that much because for one thing, it was meant to be low-key anyways, because like I said, Disneyland was the magnum opus. So I'm just glad that we had like a chill time after a big trip. Unfortunately though, it came at a price. A pretty hefty price.
Oh, come on. Here's the thing. Obi, you went to SoCal, you went to Disneyland, okay? So at least have that. I haven't been to Disneyland in years, to be fair. Like years. Maybe like 5 or 6 years.
I'm not complaining though, because
I wouldn't went to Disneyland.
and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade the Disneyland trip. I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. not even the event that you went to, which you're going to touch upon.
We're gonna talk about right now. Yeah, literally on the birthday week that happened last weekend. Me and my friend, Jess Animation. You can follow her, by the way. She's
Our
awesome.
friend, Jess Animation.
Oh yeah, our friend. Yes, our friend. Either way, our friend. Well, we still ended up going to Burbank. Was not Burbank. We actually went over to the to Alhambra in SoCal to check out the Amphibia art gallery that actually had everybody, the creators, Justin Freiberger, who was the Justin Bill Farmer. I'm gonna mess up all the names, so I'm just gonna name the characters that are in Amphibia that was actually in the panel. Matt Brawley, some of the art directors, the voice director. You had Sasha Waybright, you had Marcy Wu, you had was it Sprig, Polly, and Bill, and was that Bill Farber?
Anna Alcana.
Yes,
you had Anna Alcana, like the voice of my beloved from Big City, show up.
Yeah,
like
yes,
in the
I
same
know,
area as you. Nate, how dare you? How dare you, man?
It's not my fault. But the other thing too is like he announced it like a week later, like a week before the whole event happened. So it's like I thought it was just gonna be like Hot Pop, Sprig, and Polly, but then she put those out, and I'm like, wait, you have Marcy Wu coming, you have Haley Sue coming. Hello, I'm a Stella fan. I need to be down there too. I'm gonna be excited for that. So here's the thing: the trade-off is I saw Anakana is there, and also Haley Sue. I was more towards Haley Sue compared to Anakana. Okay, so
yeah,
so
I
at
mean,
least
like
with that.
yeah, I mean, if I were there, like I would have been like, okay, Marcy's my favorite character in Amphibia. But on the other hand, Gloria from Big City Greens, who was voiced by Anna Kana, is my favorite character in all of animation. So Anna over Haley, sorry. If I
love Haley. I'm sorry, I love Haley just because of her role as both, Marcy Wu and Stella Zhao. Either way, but the thing is that when we went into Burbank, we wanted to check out the art animation companies that are around, and quite literally close to the airport was Nick Animation Studios. And you know what? We wanted to visit it. We can't go inside the studios, obviously, but we were able to check what's outside. And yeah, a lot of awesome stuff was actually outside. So we actually visited Nick Studios. I'll give a little slideshow of what happened. But yeah, we saw Sid and Ronnie Ann. We took some photos outside. So I got some pictures of Ronnie Ann and all that. I mean, I know, I'm sorry. You weren't there. I know, you weren't there.
Betrayal!
I'm sorry.
Betrayal! You dare take that without your loud co-host? Nate,
I'm sorry. It's not my fault. I mean, we wanted to check out Nick Animation.
I never thought that I would... Nate, I never thought I would have to say this to you directly. I never thought I would have to say this actual thing to you, Nate, but what the flip?
That was not our fault. I just gotta say this. Like we had time, we had extra time, so we went to Nick Studios. So we ended up taking pictures of there up front. We literally only took like 5 minutes because the thing is that there's nothing to do there in the studios because you're literally just outside.
Okay, I can understand, but still, man, like you took a picture of that. I was like, okay, no, like you can't just do it without your fellow loud consultants. Oh my gosh! Oh,
I know Luna was staring outside. I don't think that was played. That was played. I think the crew was like up there.
The girl that wished me happy birthday. She wished me happy birthday.
Up there, okay?
Thank you, Luna. Thank you, Luna, for
the crew's
birthday
up there
wish.
At least.
Love you, Luna. You are still best loud to me. You're still best loud.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, I love the fact that they actually did have banners that pretty much say, "Hey, we still love the Loud House and the Casa Grandes." Although you are canceling the Casa Grande, so I don't know what kind of love you're bringing. But yeah, it was cool to actually check out Nick Studios. But after that, we actually checked out the Amphibia panel. And just a heads up, we also did see everybody there. So I'm sorry, we sat in the back. So the unfortunate part is that we can't be able to see what was in front. So the only thing I can actually take of all the crew was literally over there. So yeah. Nonetheless, I mean, we were able to check out the crew. Everybody was cool and all. But yeah, I mean, it was a fun time over the Amphibia event. There's some really amazing art. There's some really amazing cosplayers out there. I mean, seriously, like awesome cosplayers, like this person here who cosplayed the Battle of the Bandan. But I gotta look some more. I gotta check this out. I don't know what, but there's a cosplayer that actually cosplayed Ida dressed up in Amphibia outfits. So I'm like, who are you? How is Ida crossover? How did Ida cross over into this? Right?
I like that. I saw that. Yeah, it's like, whoa, someone's a huge fan of both shows, it definitely shows that like what if Ida got transported into
Oh,
Amphibia.
you sorry, Marseille fans will probably love this, but yeah, I love it. I love Marseille and all.
Yes,
And then of course there's other photos too. Oh, here's another photo. Sprig Plantar, by the way, if you all want to cosplay Sprig.
I do.
Wait, I thought
I do.
me looking at you. Here's your idea right there.
I know. Unfortunately, though, I still can't find the clothes to cosplay Sprig, but hopefully I
Well, that'll
can
give you an
before
idea. That'll give you
D23.
an idea of what to cosplay, you know? I mean, that'll be something good to hear. Oh, and definitely this, I didn't expect this to actually happen, but there is a Marsan photo that I did not expect to see. And I'm like, wait, why is Marcy tearing up at this moment? I'm like, oh no, I need to. Marcy actually loves Anne too. That's just your Marsan moment, by the way.
Marsan, let's go. I'm sorry, Sashan shippers, but Marsan all the way. Oh no, better yet, I think that's something we can all agree on. Sashan RC. There you go.
And I'm like, look, as I said, the cosplayers are actually pretty good. This one's actually pretty on top, by the way. Like all the Sasha fans, all the Sasha. I mean, all the Marcy fans out there, they are, like I said, really amazing. I'll just share one more photo before we end up spending so much time here. Here, okay, here we go. Give me that smile. There you go. Forgot about this photo here where we actually get to see everybody there. Although, unfortunately, Bill Farmer did leave right after the panel, so we couldn't be able to get his autograph. So either way, this was a good photo of actually having everybody there, all checking out what's the Amphibia panel.
Yeah, awesome, man. Hey, I just got one question. Where's Brenda's song? You think
I
that
am wondering that
AI
too.
of the protagonist
I have
would
a
show
feeling.
up?
Here's the thing. According to what I've been hearing, she did have a kid, so she may be, taking care of the kid instead of actually going to the panel. But I don't know. It'd be cool to actually have Brenda's song there, but you still have most of the cast there, man.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. Because you think that Brenda Song does voice the protagonist of the show, and it's kind of weird how like pretty much most of the main cast and crew, except for the actual protagonist herself, actually
I think
showed up. But I do understand though, Brenda Song's duties as her mom, as a mom. I get it.
Yeah, I did have one thing signed by Haley Sue. My Haley Sue moment was when I actually gave her a piece of fan art that I got commissioned. So I have to give a shout out to Mr. Choco. Mr. Choco, the piece that I commissioned for you with Stella and Marcy, that is now kept for her, by the way. So hopefully she loves it. But I gotta give a shout out to Wicked as well. I made a commission from you to get this piece of fan art signed. Luckily she was able to sign it. Sorry if it's too small, but she was able to sign this little piece of fan art too. So I was like, okay,
That looks beautiful.
it
That
is
looks
beautiful. And a heads up, by the way, to Wicked, I'm gonna send this to you. By the way, this is for you.
Lil Haley Chu Academia. Little Haley Chu
Academia, yeah. And then last but not least, I want to give a shout out to SP because he worked on an amazing piece with the girls in a boba shop. And he also implemented everybody in the Amphibia crew. So they were able to actually sign all of this, and I have to give a shout out to him because he made this.
That
awesome
looks
piece.
beautiful, man. SP is a true artist, man. Like major shout out to SP. He does good stuff.
And then one more thing is that I'm going to send that to him too. So like the only thing I got signed was the poster, which you'll see back there. And I'm hiding that, by the way. You're all not going to see that. That's a little spoilerish for people, but it's up there.
Cover your eyes.
Well, no.
See no spoiler, hear no spoiler.
So you
see
can't
no spoiler,
really
hear no spoiler.
You can't really visually see that poster, but it is up there. I'm not going to bring it close to the camera right now, but you know what? I mean, when I'm looking back at that, I'm like, okay, you know what? I have everybody's signature. I'm okay with this piece. I know that I had other things signed too, but I mean, I'm okay with what they gave me. The poster is absolutely exclusive, and I mean, the rest of the stuff that got signed, obviously, got to send it out to them because they made an amazing work. And if anything, I want to, appreciate their work by having their things signed. So they're gonna give it to them. So like Wicked and SP, you're guys gonna get your thing signed anyway. Anyways, yeah, that was my trip, by the way, and then. And then I'll talk about LA, but that'll be a different story. Either way, the Amphibia gallery was so amazing. Just saying it out there was just absolutely amazing. I was loving it from the bottom of my heart. Like seeing all the fans, seeing all the cosplayers, seeing like all the Amphibia artwork that was also being portrayed as well was just awesome. Like
yeah,
Yeah,
listen, like
it was worth.
you
It was
know,
worth one day. It was worth one day out of a Saturday just to see it.
you know that if my month had been totally free, I totally would have gone with you guys. Like
I
I
know
said,
you would have totally gone.
I'm an Amphibia fan myself. Obviously, you guys all know I'm a huge Amphibia fan myself. It was just inconvenient timing, but like I said before, it was just a small price to pay in order to enjoy like all the amazing celebrations that I've gone. So needless to say, I've gained much more than I've lost.
Look, okay, Omid, you did have a video celebration for your birthday with Nika Futterman, right? You know what?
Yes.
I'll try my best. I got a selfie with Matt Brawley. So I mean that's something. You still
Oh,
Matt Brawley.
hey, what is wrong with you, man? Like,
I
like,
I had to be up close to him. I had to. Okay,
okay,
one regret I didn't get was Haley Sue not getting a selfie with her, and I'm like, well, I at least got that. But at least I got Matt Brawley.
I'm
He's a cool
happy for
guy.
you, man.
He's amazing.
I'm happy for you, but at the same time, I kind of low key want to kill you for that, man.
Really?
I low key want to kill you.
Oh my god!
But credit where credit is due. You did get him to sign my Amphibia poster, so major shout out to you, man. I appreciate it.
See, look, I didn't leave you behind. At least I was able to give you your autographs. Okay, so don't get angry now at me because of this.
Nah, man, like I'm not angry, just low key, very, very, very low key, very, very low key, kind of jelly.
Come on, I know everyone's jealous. I know, but the thing is, like, sorry, crew, that you could be able to make it, but it's fun. If you do live in the SoCal area, that gallery is still up. So if you want to, see the whole entire Amphibia gallery, go ahead and do so, because it is worth the time to go up to northern SoCal and actually check out the gallery.
Yeah, I honestly, like, guys, like you said before, like pretty much the gallery is still up, even though the guests or panel aren't really up anymore. So yeah, if y'all want to check out some good Amphibia artwork, please go on down to Gallery Nucleus.
I know Meat's still angry. Come on, man.
Nah, man, it's all good, man. Like I said before, I still wouldn't have traded Disneyland or anything else for anything. I wouldn't have traded Disneyland for anything. Not even this.
Look, you went to Disneyland though, at least. So be happy about that. I at least went one day to the Amphibia Gallery, and the thing is that I still had my fun time for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. I'm glad I did too. So yeah.
All right. So yeah, we are doing great after our break. That's the reason why we're all refreshed, energized, ready to give you all the next Loud House episode reviews. What a crazy transition.
I know, right? Yeah. It's like, okay, we took vacation off, now it's time to work.
Yeah. All right. And FYI,
this is the good work. This is the fun work. Okay.
This is the fun work we've ended up doing. So let's go ahead and get straight to it. I know you guys are waiting for it, and I'm sorry if we ended up getting people jealous in our audience right now.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry, guys.
we certainly had our luck this month. Wouldn't you say? Like we certainly had our fun this month.
I would say it was a long time coming. It was a long time coming because we've been stuck at home all this time.
Definitely, man. Like this was definitely a good way, like, to pretty much celebrate not just my birthday, but also the post-pandemic era.
Right. Well, technically, we're not out of the pandemic, but we'll make it work.
I mean, it's getting better. All I can say is that it's getting better. It's not technically post-pandemic, but it's post-2020. So.
True. Let's move on ahead to our episode reviews. So let's get started with our first episode that we're going to review tonight that aired on April 8th. It's called Snoop Scoop. Synopsis here says the action news team struggles to find out how Catherine Mulligan is scooping their news leads. So first off, this episode here starts off with the action news team doing scoops around Royal Woods. And of course, when you have news around town, you know that the news crew with Catherine Mulligan is going to be on top of that case. What were your thoughts on Catherine's intrusion with the news crew here?
And this is Omid Ramanish saying it's time for us to give our insight into this Snoop review of The Loud House. Well, I personally think that this is a good way for the action news team to have some sort of rival of their own in a sense. And if you ask me, like, this is a much more effective and much more bearable Action News team antagonist than Chandler.
Mm.
This time they're
Why'd you bring
dealing
him
with
up?
this time they're dealing with a professional big news reporter like Catherine Mulligan. And because she's always on top of her game with the news she brings, along with how quickly she does it, more so than the Action News team, she definitely feels like a legitimate threat to them.
I felt like, well, here's the thing though. I mean, when I was looking back at this, I'm like, I thought the Action News crew will just look at news in their school. I don't know what is happening here, but it feels like they're expanding into Royal Woods. And I'm like, wait a minute. You know that there's a news crew that does that too, right? So it makes sense for Catherine Mulligan to go into Royal Woods and start scooping around for whatever news is popping up. So I felt like in this kind of sense, it feels like the news crew kind of went out of their territory to actually look for news around Royal Woods instead of having Catherine Mulligan, which is her job, to actually do the news around the town, which is like, yeah, I'm like, guys, you guys are doing the school, right? Not Royal Woods. Are you trying to get more followers? That's the reason why you're doing this. But either way, I mean, I get it. Like you're trying to expand the news crew, but at the same time, wait, the school news crew is supposed to be for the school. I thought Catherine Mulligan takes care of Royal Woods news, but either way, it's kind of interesting. Now,
Yes,
here's the thing.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. How do you like the whole callbacks to the other characters in the show? I mean, we actually get to see Vic again. I can't believe we actually going to have him as our main antagonist now, and Nick Swagger. Yeah. How?
Yes. Yes. Oh my god. Okay. Now, with regards to Vic, I'm just gonna say, okay. First of all, hashtag kick Vic. All I'm gonna say. Second off, Mick Swagger, baby, let's go. Mick Swagger is back, baby. Woo! Mick Swagger, love.
Now it's weird that he actually like goes into Sunset Canyon to work on songs. That's an interesting. It's this interesting thing. We'll talk there.
And then he gets his face pummeled by some pudding. I'm just like, hey, Sunset Canyon, leave Mick Swagger alone. All right, Mick Swagger is a legend. Mick Swagger is the GOAT. And by the way, you should all know why I'm currently fanboying over Mick.
I get it, Luna Loud fan. I get it, Luna Loud fan. Jeez. All right. Anyways, let's move on as the episode continues on here, because it feels that the Action News team is pretty much in a kerfuddle when they have Catherine Mulligan pretty much take care of their news. So the Action News team is trying to find out who is the one who's actually leaking out all the news to Catherine Mulligan. They look at people like Meryl and Chef Pat, and even their art teacher. Unfortunately, all of them don't give much evidence to the leaker. So what are your thoughts on this as the news crew is trying to find the culprit on who's leaking the news to Catherine Mulligan?
Now, I actually thought that this is quite an interesting way to write an Action News team episode, because you've got a rival news business that is currently a legitimate threat to them, because you saw how Catherine Mulligan and her news crew are always pretty much getting in the way of the Action News team, and them trying to cover their stories. So to see them like try to see them trying to figure out who the rat or leaker is that's been giving Catherine the information is actually quite an interesting turn. Like it builds up for it also builds for a interesting mystery episode. And God knows how many Lincoln Friends mystery teams we've gotten.
Right. I mean, that's the thing about. I mean, I love those mystery episodes, but it is kind of a little suspicious part here where it's like the news crew has been in. I don't know. I think I've seen this a lot though. The news crew is in trouble, so they try to find a way to get out of that trouble. We've seen that before on certain episodes. I'm kind of lost in my mind here, but there have been times where the news crew tries their best to get out of a situation and try to fix it themselves. And this is a cool little. I mean, the way that this episode portrays it, it just is an interesting little mystery that they brought up, because it is somebody in the school leaking for them, and it's like, who is it going to be? Who really hates the Action News crew? I thought Chandler would be that person to actually leak the news or something like that. But unfortunately, Chandler is not in this episode. So obviously look at other people like Chef Pat, for example. Also, shout out to Chef Pat. Apparently, she's still a part of the team, a part of the Loud House, apparently.
Yeah, she's becoming much more and more prominent as the show progresses. as the
Right.
show progresses, like Chef Pat becomes a more prominent character. Like I legit want to see her in an episode with Rita. Like I want to see
Ooh, that would be a good one.
Rita
Yeah.
and Chef Pat episode. Make it happen.
Yeah, please make it happen. And then also the art teacher too. They also suspicious the art teacher. I love the fact that like they were trying their best to like give the scoop on like what's the latest news is, and then out of all the people, Clyde McBride will actually like draw a perfect model of Rusty, and I'm like, bro, this isn't the plan.
Oh god, like Clyde's too sophisticated. Like Clyde's too much into the art of painting in order to, you know, really go through with the
Right,
plan.
but
Also, by the way, I kind of love like how the rest of Lincoln Squad like pretty much paint their own pictures of, you know, Flip, Spoon, and Feel go out of business. Oh, please let life imitate art. It's just really funny to see that. You know, it was quite hilarious. Like, and like I said before, like I really hope it actually does happen. But hey, like sometimes life ain't fair.
not fair pair, unfortunately. But yeah, it's cool to actually just try see this crew try their best to figure out who the culprit is. But yeah, let's continue on with the episode here because the news crew would actually, since they can't really find their leaker at school, they're going to just follow Catherine Mulligan, and she just they pretty much follow Catherine Mulligan as a life as a reporter, where you have a typical day where you wake up, eat food, and then you also hang out with your coworkers. It would take them all day to figure out who the rat would be, and they would assume it would be Principal Ramirez, like their principal actually giving the leaks and everything. So when you heard about this, were you surprised that it could have been Principal Ramirez giving the information to was it Catherine Mulligan?
First off, I just got to say this. Like, I just love that moment where Catherine Mulligan actually becomes like a mood when you see her like waking up, getting up,
wake up in her pajamas and just eating a bagel.
it's like that's pretty much the, you know, story of my life. Like every morning, like Monday through Friday. It's adult life, right?
Yeah, that's all of us. Hey, by the way, this is us adults, okay? We're kind of living Catherine Mulligan's life. Okay, shut up.
And it helps them. We're all in our we're both in our 30s now, officially. So yeah. And second off, yeah, it was a bit surprising because first off, Principal Ramirez is the one who technically hired the crew to be the Ashes News team in the first place. So in a way, she's their boss. And to see her go behind her back and leak information in order to help the competition against her own school news team is, well, quite a shocking twist. But it turns out, however, it's not exactly what it seems, and we're going to touch upon that in a bit.
Okay, so I when I first heard about Principal Ramirez being the leaker, I kind of felt like she would have been, because she is the person that was close by. So, and she also runs the school. So I'm like, you know what? If you're a person who runs the school and you want to give out the biggest gossip, yeah, it would be Principal Ramirez overall. So I was assuming that she was definitely the culprit here. So yeah, like my thoughts on that was just pretty much straightforward. But here's the thing: how'd you like the callbacks to old episodes during the scenes where they're trying to live the Catherine Mulligan's life? I mean, we get to see Bush Zach again, you know, from that episode. I forgot that episode. We get to see Zach in a bush, which we've seen numerous times, and then we also get to see Clyde and Lincoln as Myrtle and Gail.
Resident Upheaval.
Yeah. How'd you feel about those callbacks? I'm like, wow, you brought those old costumes back.
Oh my gosh. It's like they took a look at how the Casa Grandes does callbacks and continuity so well. They decided, okay, guys, we gotta step it up. Our own spin-off counterpart is ding dang doing continuity better than we are, and we are the original show. We are the parent. Okay, like if our spin-off, if our child is somehow pulling off continuity better than we are, we're doing something wrong. So you know what? Let's up the game, guys. Let's up the game.
I loved it. I just loved it. The fact that they keep on putting callbacks here. And it just feels like season 6 is actually doing the thing that we were always talking them to do, to actually get continuity and bring it back and all. So the continuity is actually definitely showing here in season 6. And I think with all these small little callbacks that they bring up in this episode, I was like, yay, finally, I think they're listening to us now.
Yes.
So it's just amazing to see
Keep it up.
that, yeah.
Keep it up with it, Loudhouse. Keep it up with it. Don't stop. Don't stop that continuity.
So the Action News team would set up Principal Ramirez to give Catherine Mulligan the fake news, only to find out that they actually are in a book club, Principal Ramirez and Catherine Mulligan. So Prince Ramirez actually would threaten to dissolve the Action News team again. But thanks to Catherine Mulligan, the news team was saved. So how'd you like this whole moment here where Catherine Mulligan actually steps up to actually say something about the news crew?
It actually shows how Catherine Mulligan has heart. And she has heart, especially for these kids. So I do like how she stood up for them. And because of Catherine Mulligan, actually, the news team gets to stay. They don't dissolve. So really good on Catherine Mulligan for that. Honestly, because of this, I want to see more Catherine Mulligan.
I
I do.
know.
I actually do. Less on her, love life. We're going to touch upon that later. But more like on her news business, her news business side. I want to see that.
Here's the thing. I feel like after the Christmas movie, maybe Catherine Mulligan got some popularity out of that. And then the other thing too is that you also still have the voice actress of Lori Loud and Catherine Mulligan pretty much still there. And I'm like, why don't you actually have Catherine Mulligan step up? Because it feels like the voice actress of Lori is not really doing much. So I'm just glad they actually brought a callback to Catherine Mulligan, because it's like, yeah, she's an awesome news anchor, and you still got to give some props out to Lori, because Lori's still not in the show in season 6. When are we gonna have that episode? I'm still waiting for that driving episode of Letty. Hello, please bring that back. Please, when are we gonna have that?
Hey, eat your heart out, Chet. You betcha.
Oh my god. Old show. Oh, if you're talking about Fairly Odd Parents, well, that's gonna be a different story.
Yes, Chet. You betcha's got nothing on this woman.
All right, so let's move on. Let's move over, because the thing is that we get to see Catherine. So here's the thing. Catherine does get the news and everything, but the other thing too is like, who's actually leaking the news? Apparently, Catherine Mulligan does have a boyfriend that actually leaks the news to her, and it turns out to be Rusty's dad. So all the mix up, because of this mix up. Okay, so yeah, let's actually start off from there. How'd you feel about Rusty's dad and Catherine Mulligan actually dating? How do you like this whole ship here?
I mean, like, I'm sort of indifferent towards it. You know what I mean? Like, I sort of have mixed feelings about it, but I do love the way that the mystery was built. Like, this is how you do a mystery well. Like, you show, like, throughout the episode, you show clues, you show, you pretty much show dialogue that sort of gives hints as to who her leaker might be. And then when it turns out to be who it was at the end, it all comes full circle. I'm just like, I love what they did here. I love the mystery of it. I love the mystery building of it. Everything was done well. In terms of their relationship, that, however, like I said, I'm a bit indifferent towards it. I mean, we'll have to see. Like, I wouldn't say like it's one of, I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite ships ever, but let's be honest, I have seen much worse though. For this flip, last time the episode we talked about previously, like I'll easily take this over that any day of the week.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, voice actress of Ariel. Why would you actually end up with Flip?
Exactly. Let me tell you, Flip is no Prince Eric. Okay, I'm just saying.
No, disgusting. That's like 1,000 times worse.
So I'm gonna be honest, it's sort of a wait and see. Like, maybe if they built this up more, I could be in favor of it. I could not. We'll see how it goes. But as for now, what I love about this moment in particular is just the mystery aspect.
Here's the thing: when I first saw this episode, I'm like, the background. What was it? Rusty's dad was talking to Rusty about his date. The thing is, like, we don't even know what his date was about. We didn't know it was actually going to go full circle when it actually does come in the end, where we actually get to see Rusty's dad and Catherine Mulligan dating. And I'm like, wow, interesting. I didn't know about that. And also the other thing too is that I guess Rusty's mom is separated from Rusty's dad now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you thought the debate with Rusty's dad was just a story trip, but actually no, it actually turns out to play a significant role in the plot of the episode. I'm just like, yes, that's how you do it.
Yeah. Which is good. We actually have a little subplot that you don't know about, like in the episode, that actually does come full circle. And I thought that was great to actually bring it around and actually put it in the end. Still though, I mean, yeah, I never expect. To be fair, I actually haven't seen Rusty's mom throughout the whole Loud House, so I was assuming that we just never saw her. It just feels like, I guess they're separate. So Rusty's dad is single. Obviously, he would love to go date somebody. and we have Catherine Mulligan. So I'm guessing like it'll work out. I feel like that's okay. I kind of do support this. I can't wait to see if they're gonna have more episodes about it. Maybe we'll have like a Catherine Mulligan and Rusty Dad. What was it on a date somehow? Maybe another Catherine Mulligan episode or something like that. But it'd be, I kind of want to see how this goes out. I kind of like the ship.
It'd be interesting to see how Rusty's going to play a part in this, because there could be an episode in which these two go on a date and then Rusty tries to sabotage the date. I'm just like, okay, like if they're going to do an episode like
don't
that,
do it. Don't be like Teacher's Fret, please. I just don't like it to be like that.
if they're going to do an episode like that, the only way that it could possibly redeem the episode for being another Teacher's Fret, redeem it for being totally garbage, is if you bring Rocky on board. If you bring Rocky on board,
no.
I'll totally forgive it.
Where's Rocky? Where have we heard Rocky? Who's this person, Rocky? I never heard of this guy in so long.
Like I said, Nickelodeon was like, Rocky who? Rocky who? Oh yeah. Rocky Balboa. Da-da-da, da-da-da.
Too bad. I don't know. It feels like Rocky will never come back to the Loud House unless they actually do bring it back. I mean, we do have callbacks from season 1, season 2, in season 6. So it's like, it can happen eventually. Maybe we can actually see maybe we can actually see Lisa's crush from Ellis for Love again.
Yeah, or maybe what will happen is that like Rusty's dad and Rusty's brother are both on their own dates, and Rusty feels left out because he doesn't have a date, so he tries to get one. Of course, you see Rusty's dad with Catherine Mulligan. You see Rocky with Lucy. Rusty's the only one left who doesn't have a date, so he tries to get one himself. I want to see how that's going to play out. That would be a much better Rusty episode than the previous idea I mentioned.
You know that he keeps on saying that he always has dates and stuff. So I'm like, where's an official episode where we can actually see Rusty on a date?
Yeah, no, honestly, like he's bluffing, man. Like he's talking about honestly, the moment we believe him is when we see him.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's overdue.
We believe it when we see it. I feel
like that's long overdue. We need a Rusty date episode with, I don't know what other girl would date her. Maybe girl Jordan, because of that one episode, Frame on You.
No, don't you dare.
Okay? Why not? I like
Jordella, because Jordella. Okay? Because Jordella.
Okay, so who do you think Rusty would be perfect with?
Good question.
Some random girl. Is that what we're gonna say now?
Yeah, I mean, we never really heard Chloe until
oh yeah, where's Chloe? Where's Chloe at? Thanks a lot.
We never heard from we never heard of Chloe before Brave the Last Dance, and unfortunately, we haven't really seen much of her since.
Yeah, Loud Crew, can you bring up Chloe? I know she's in the background a lot, but can you actually talk about another episode with her and Clyde? Hello? Can we get that, please?
Exactly. The whole point of that episode was so that Clyde can pretty much get a date himself. So, and I'm just like, okay, after Brave Last Dance, it kind of went nowhere. It was weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Chloe actually does have like another episode. We get to see her in the background at least, but please can you at least have her have an episode? Anyway, we're going off topic here. Here's the thing. Because of the whole mix-up though, Catherine would actually help the news team out with new equipment, making the news team a whole lot better. So how'd you like this whole ending here with Catherine Mulligan actually helping the crew?
Action 5 News team is about to upgrade because of this. Like, let me tell you, because of this move, the Action 5 News team has evolved like a Pokemon. Like, they are going big. Like, because of Catherine Mulligan, they just went big. I love that because they spent all their hard work trying to cover these stories. So it was about time that they got an upgrade.
So my thing now is that the next episode that we have for the Action News crew is that they actually have portable cameras and actually microphones and things that Catherine Mulligan can give to them. So if we're going to follow that continuity episode, I really do hope they actually implement that instead of actually using their cell phones, which they have done throughout the whole entire time ever since they started making the news crew. So yeah,
exactly.
If they can make that improvement, that'd be awesome to do. So hopefully Catherine Mulligan actually heeds to her word, and we actually get to see them actually have like professional cameras all over the place with lighting and everything like that.
It's good to know that they got this equipment in a legitimate way, not the kind of way
like
which you saw Broadcast Blues. Not the kind you saw Broadcast Blues. No, this is legitimate. This is a legitimate way of getting equipment.
It is most definitely. All right. Anything else you want to bring up from this episode?
Yes, I would just like to say, let's have a moment of silence for spaghetti pizza. Okay, I'm done. Recipe spaghetti pizza.
When did you become
Spaghetti
like? When did you
pizza!
when did you become so passionate like Clyde for the spaghetti pizza?
Yo, it's the last slice of spaghetti pizza. Pizza deserves better, man. Spaghetti pizza. Oh my god, it is just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. All right, I'm done.
All right.
Nothing. Other than that, like I said, I want to see where the episode goes, and I want to see where Captain Mulligan and Rusty's dad's relationship will go. Um, and I also want to see Action Five's news team work with some legitimate equipment because it's what we've been wanting to see for a while. Actually, work with professional equipment, not just their cell phone. Let me tell you, like I said, Action Five news team just got a whole lot better, and it's thanks to Captain Mulligan.
I really want more Catherine Mulligan. Okay, I mean, like, yeah, she could be a secondary character that's pretty much like left off to do her own thing. But if we can have episodes like this for her, can we have more of them? Because you do have a new storyline with Catherine now. You have her dating Rusty's dad. So, yeah, can we continue on with that? I mean, I would love to see like maybe one or two more episodes in season 6 about these two. I don't know. Let's see how this goes. But I have to say this is a really awesome Captain Mulligan episode. Plus the news crew. I understand we have seen so much with the news crew, but at least Captain Mulligan is actually a little bit of a more focus here, and I think this was awesome to see.
It really is. I definitely agree.
All right, so how would you rate Scoop Snoop?
I would honestly rate this an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely another pretty great Action 5 News Team episode. I love how the mystery was built. I really do love Captain Mulligan herself. Like Captain Mulligan, I would agree. This is Captain Mulligan at her best because she plays as a much more significant role than the smug news reporter that she has been in the previous episodes. Like, no, this episode proves that Captain Mulligan does have some character, does have a lot of heart, especially when she sticks up for the kids at the end. And then, of course, the ending with Captain Mulligan and Rusty's dad. Let me tell you, like, I felt the same way as Rusty and his friends did when I saw them kissing. I was just like, oh God, no, just don't do that in front of us. It's just why.
Let them have their moment of kissing. Come on.
Yeah, overall, really, really great episode overall.
I would say this though. I mean, no doubt, I like this episode. I never expect to actually see a Catherine Mulligan episode because we always see Catherine Mulligan in the background and she never has her focused moment until today. And it's like, wow, the news crew is actually focusing on Catherine Mulligan this time, and they actually see about who Catherine Mulligan is and all that. And I think it's long overdue. I mean, we already have Girl Jordan's moment in Frame on You, so why not have another secondary character have her shining moment in, for example, Scoop Snoop. So, I mean, I love Catherine Mulligan. She's amazing. I think also the fact is that she got more popular after the Christmas movie. So maybe we can focus more on her. I can't wait to see how this relationship with Rusty's dad is going to be. And if things are going to be looking really well, I hope they actually have a collaboration where they actually have like the Action 5 news team and the Action news team over at the school actually work together. It'd be pretty awesome if they actually collaborated with like one news story or something.
I agree because let me tell you, with this, they could cover something big.
Right. Could be like a disastrous thing happening over in Royal Woods. I think that Lake episode might be some foreshadowing.
Could be.
All right. But yeah, I'll give it an 8.52. I think this is an awesome episode. We need more Catherine Mulligan for sure. All right. Besides that, that's our review for Scoop Soup. Let's actually go to the second episode that also aired on April 8th. It is called I Can't. Synopsis here is: trying to avoid the eye doctor, Lisa makes a new pair of glasses that makes her eyesight worse. So the episode begins where Lisa would be bumping into things like Letty does, and even mistaking things like a skunk instead of one of their pets. To say the least, her eyesight is really bad. Lisa's parents would try to suggest that Lisa will go to the eye doctor, but apparently she's scared to go. That's a little flaw that I never expected from Lisa Loud. How would you like this little flaw that this gifted child has?
Okay, let me tell you, I can't wait to talk about this episode.
Wow. Little puns.
Now, I love that these Lisa episodes prove that even the most gifted of people aren't perfect, flawless human beings. They all have something to work on, and Lisa is no exception. We've seen that before with Friend or Foe, where she struggles to make uh, friends with a human. Um, we've also seen her and how she deals with the fame in and try to cover up her secret in Loudly Bones. And we also seen in this particular episode where she tries to avoid going to an eye doctor. What I love about this is that it shows how generally young kids at that age, no matter how smart they are, do have this phobia when it comes to appointments or checkups. Like there are kids that are afraid to set foot in a dentist's office. Now, I know I've had my share of phobia of that when I was a kid, so I can relate somewhat. Oh, and just FYI, those dental drills, they're pure evil. Anyways, what I do love about this episode is not only does it show Lisa's own flaws to work on her fears and to conquer them, but it also presents a situation that kids go through in life, which is the phobia of going to a doctor. Whether it's an eye doctor, as presented in this episode, or even something as getting a vaccination shot, which, especially nowadays, is also very important.
I felt like, yeah, definitely for Lisa, this is definitely a flaw. The thing is that what she's only just like a 5-year-old kid who, she's just a kid, by the way. And yeah, we look. She might be smart, she might know everything, but the thing is that she's a kid who also is scared of a couple things. And you expect the gifted child to actually be like, prevalent when it comes to all these sorts of things for your health to say. But I never expected to actually see her get scared of the eye doctor because of that puff machine. And to be fair, it is annoying, especially when you have to like stare at it like right in your eye. Have to have that thing right in your eye, and then it puffs like a little puff of air in your eye. It does sting a little bit, but what kind of sucks is that the eye doctor is really suckish at it. I had this before where an eye doctor literally had to puff a lot of air into my eye just to get the right picture frame. And I'm like, stop it, because I'm probably gonna get blind from that.
Oh man.
So yeah. But yeah, I understand her sense where she's always scared. Look, she's just a kid, and then it makes so much sense why Lisa, out of all the people, will have to be scared about this. And it also just shows like even little kids like Lisa, who's always smart and all, can still become, they still have her problems and flaws.
Exactly. That's what I love about Lisa Loud is that even though she's smart, she isn't perfect. Like smart characters can have flaws too.
Exactly. All right, so let's move over to, we get it. Like she hates doctors. Now, the robot Todd would suggest Lisa to do her own exam and make her own glasses, which she was actually able to do. But unfortunately, it makes her eyesight a whole lot worse. So they decided to make Lisa go to the eye doctor, yet she does do a lot of things to not make her go, like dismantle Vanzilla, mess up the town's traffic lights, and even mess up Mother Nature. Yeah, literally, they literally went to the eye doctor with the rain pretty much on them. All to no avail because they were still able to make it to the eye doctor. What were your thoughts on Lisa here, trying to like stall them when it comes to the eye doctor?
Now, while I of course don't condone Lisa's actions by any means to escape the eye doctor, it is perfectly understandable, and it does showcase the lengths that a kid would go through if they were nearly as gifted as Lisa here. It shows what a kid like Lisa would go through in order to avoid going to the eye doctor at all costs. And each and every plan that she puts out, like every action she commits in order to pretty much avoid going to the eye doctor, it is just like, pure. It is pure creative writing. It's purely hilarious. Pretty much one of my favorites when she gets Lana to pretty much mess with Vanzilla, and so Lynn Senior comes up with a backup plan to have Mr. Grouse borrow to Lynn Senior have borrow the car from Mr. Grouse in order to go to the eye doctor at the cost of 10 lasagnas, of course. And
Oh my
so
god.
once that backfires, Lisa pretty much gets out her device and hacks the living hell out of traffic lights. But then Lynn Senior, as determined as he is to like beat Lisa at her own game, pretty much steers the other direction in order to get to the eye doctor, and so thus Lisa loses and they go to the eye doctor anyway.
I just love the whole scene here where Lisa was trying her best to like avoid the eye doctor, and then she does whatever it takes to stall them. Like literally have things to hack a traffic light system. You have things to mess up with Mother Nature and stuff like that. But I do love the parents' like willingness to go cut through everything in order for them to actually make it to the eye doctor. So it's like, and then the other thing too is that Lisa, wow, you're absolutely scared of that puff machine, I guess, because you're gonna do whatever it takes to not go to the eye doctor. I get it. You are very scared.
Yeah, and another thing too is it just me, or is the person that did the creepy guy that did the puff machine on Lisa, doesn't he look like a relative of Boris's?
Kind of does, right? Because of the whole like coat and everything.
Yeah, I swear he must be related to Boris. I don't know.
Honest, yes. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think about that until you talked about it now. Okay, so Lisa would make her escape from the eye doctor with Todd, and soon an adventure with Lisa and her bad eyesight would come to be, as Lisa escapes via a train or a mall ride to Florida, a standee with a perfume, with Todd, a vacuum cleaner that's pretty much has her backpack pulled in. How did you like this couple of scenes where Lisa was quote unquote on the lam?
Like I feel really bad for Lisa, because while I do feel bad for Lisa because, well, she thought that she was in Florida, and when she and so of course she thinks that she's on vacation of some sorts, but in actuality she's actually in Royal Woods Mall. I'm just like, I kind of fear for her safety. But it's kind of cute. It's kind of adorable. It's kind of cute to see, Lisa innocently entering the mall and then pretty much enjoying her life there, even though it's not exactly the life that she literally envisioned. But yeah, you see her going through the mall. You see her having perfume sprayed on her. You see her taking a chicken nuggets. Like, oh my god! Like Lisa Loud is just pure innocence in this particular scene, just pure innocence. And then of course, when I saw Reiningers, I'm just like, okay, what if Lenny runs into Lisa while she's at work and she's like, Lisa, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? It's like honestly, that was kind of a missed opportunity, but that's just me.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, look, I mean, she's trying to be on the lam, and I know she's trying to be by herself and everything, but it doesn't work out that way, especially when you have bad eyesight. I love the fact that like, she was running with Todd, and I love the fact that Todd was also being like, what, how do you say?
Todd was
ignorant,
being a voice
being
of
ignored.
reason.
He was being ignored. Yeah, he was being ignored by Lisa.
Todd was being a voice of reason.
I felt so bad for Todd. Like, I know that he's trying to help Lisa out, especially with the bad eyesight and all, but Lisa continued to ignore his messages. And I love the fact that like I love the fact that what was it, Todd ended up being a fashion model because he ended up like loving some sort of things in Writingers, for example. So no Todd, Lisa had to go by herself, and yeah, all this kind of jazz continued to pop up, which turned out to be quite an adventure for her. Also, another thing too, how'd you like the part where the parents literally waited exactly 4.3 minutes to see that Lisa wasn't there?
Yeah, I want to say this. That was actually very funny, especially when a couple times the episode would cut to Lynn Sr. and Rita just casually waiting in the waiting room with elevator music playing in the background. I just love it.
I just love that
pure comedic timing. I want to see a 10-hour loop video of that scene alone.
It was weird because it's like, wait a minute, are you guys just not really caring about what happened? I mean, Lisa did escape from the doctor. Isn't the doctor supposed to come out and say, I lost your daughter?
But they don't know that. They don't know that yet. Yeah, I kind of basically wonder why the eye doctor didn't immediately go and say, I can't find your daughter. But Lisa did estimate that it would be 4.3 minutes before Lindsay and Rita would go looking for her. And let me tell you, that timing was exactly accurate.
It was actually perfect. And I'm like, wow, I'm guessing they actually made this right, where they actually would have 4.3 minutes of Lynn Sr. and Lisa and Rita not actually looking at wherever Lisa's doing. So this actually had this whole adventure of Lisa going through the the Royal Woods Mall, and then even going to a bear's cave and all that jazz.
Only Lisa would, correctly predict accurate timing.
Right. So her moment that she needed glasses is where she actually followed a family of bears to the cave. With all the mishap that happened to Lisa, she would eventually give in and would go through that exam for new glasses. So how'd you like this whole ending of the episode?
It was actually technically one bear, but yeah, she does technically run into a bear, and so when she feels the bear like by the claws and the hands and all this stuff, that's when she's thinking, "Oh, oh crap, I'm screwed. I'm gonna run." Ah, and so Lisa pretty much chooses you know like it's pretty much a life or death situation for Lisa, where it's like, okay, after being almost eaten by a bear, she then decides to go to the eye doctor and face her fears. Because let's face it, facing her fears is much more important and much more convenient than getting eaten by a bear, of course.
Of course.
So then she pretty much conquers her fear, and so Lisa is able to see again, and so all's well that ends well for Lisa. And let me tell you, I'm really proud of Lisa for doing this. Yeah, it did take a bear attack for her to get back to having the courage to go through with the eye thing. But the way, but how, but of course. She did go through with it at the end of the day, so let me tell you, I'm proud of her.
You know what though? I mean, this is a learning lesson for Lisa. I mean, I get it that she tries her best to like ignore the eye doctor from her bad vision, but at the end, I think it just needs a learning. There always has to be like a learning lesson in the end where Lisa has to like turn around and say, "Okay, fine, I'll go to the eye doctor." And then it isn't until like a bear attack would make her reconsider and actually get her back into the eye doctor. So it's like, also, I mean, it was for your own sake, Lisa. It's either that or get attacked by a bear. And yeah, so she ended up getting the eye exam that she wanted, and she ended up getting new glasses, and she now has perfect vision. One more thing though, we forgot about Todd. How'd you like the fact that Todd will be a great fashion model?
Todd's got a bright future ahead of him. That's for sure.
I think
He
yeah, it
really
was so weird.
does.
It was so weird. I'm like, oh wow, we're still going back to Todd, and look at him now. He's apparently the next fashion model for Reiningers.
I'm kind of surprised that Lenny didn't ask Todd where Lisa is, but then again, she is
That's
busy
Lenny.
at Reinigers, so
It's
it is
it's
Lenny
Lenny.
Loud.
It's Lenny too, by the way. So remember, she does actually have a mannequin that's her best friend. So
Yeah, that's true. By the way, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't show um, they didn't show Todd with Tanya, because honestly, that would have been a legit ship. I now ship Todd and Tanya. Make it
I think
happen.
I would love the fact if Todd actually says like, "Where have you been all my life?" If he actually says that in front of Tanya.
That would have been
uh,
interesting. That would have
that
been
would be
interesting to
cool. That
see.
would be pretty cool. But they didn't do that, unfortunately. We got a good idea. We got a good idea for you, Loud Crew. All right. Anything else you want to bring up from this episode?
Yes, I just have to say this. Like this is honestly one of the best Lisa episodes, because it really does show like a real life situation in terms of what young kids go through, in terms of their phobia of appointments and checkups, whether it be with eyes, with dental appointments, and of course, vaccination shots. I really do love how this episode highlights a real part of life that kids do genuinely tend to go through. And it shows how even the smartest of kids like Lisa Loud still are very sensitive and still do have this phobia when it comes to that. So honestly, I think like by that, and of course Lisa, of course, being as adorable as she is in this episode, especially with the mall scene, really does elevate this episode to be one of the best Lisa episodes for me, right up there with Dream a Lily Dream and Friend or Foe.
I gotta say this though, this is a good Lisa episode, especially the fact that we just know that Lisa is still a kid. She's not the genius that we always thought she would be. She will always have her flaws. This is definitely one of her flaws, and it does show like how even for like a 5-year-old, she would still end up having this adventure where she doesn't want to get an eye doctor appointment, yet she gets the consequences for it and ended up getting the eye doctor's appointment no matter what. All right, so how would you rate this episode?
I'm gonna make this a 9 out of 10.
Ooh,
Honestly,
nice.
like it is quite a cute it's a cute episode with a really good life lesson for Lisa, and it shows it shows a real part of life. Like it shows like a realistic situation that young kids go through, even Lisa. And so I do like how they do address her phobia of going to the eye doctor, and of course, her her wide variety of antics and plans to get out of the eye going to the eye doctor was purely creative. So major props to that. And also, of course, Lynn Senior and Rita are good as always. Like they show their concern and care for Lisa, so they want to make sure that she is able to see again. So they do whatever it takes because it's for her own good. And of course, at the end, the mall scene, one of the best Lisa Loud scenes I've ever seen in the show. So yeah, all these reasons and much more why I do love this episode, and already one of the best episodes of the season.
I have to say this though, we have already complained about Lisa episodes for quite a while. This definitely is one of the better Lisa episodes. Nice, awesome, nice episode to talk about her flaws, plus the way of how she's trying to adhere through it. With Todd, I think Todd is becoming a big thing for the Loud House now. I'm guessing he's now part of the family. um, but
I don't know. Like in terms of Lisa's best friend, I still much prefer Darcy.
I know I prefer
No,
Darcy too.
no,
but we
Nate,
haven't.
no. Before some of you ask, no, we're not talking about that, Darcy. Okay, so
Oh
get that
my
out of your
god!
head.
Oh my
We're
god!
talking about the pure, angelic, cute Darcy. Okay, we're talking about the purely human Darcy. Okay.
Yes, the pure kindergarten Darcy. Why would you bring the other Darcy up?
I don't know. It's just like I don't want to get to the wrong idea. It's like, what you want Lisa to be friends with a literal? You want Lisa to be friends with like a have you a possessed human?
Oh god! Oh god! Shut up! We're not gonna compare it to her. Anyways, yeah, I feel like Todd's a part of the family. It feels like Todd is getting more and more roles when it comes to the Loud House now, which is cool. I mean, I guess continuity comes with the secondary character, especially a robot. But yeah, I definitely say this is definitely one of Lisa's best episodes. Not really the best-ish episode compared to like if you want to compare it to like Dream a Lily Dream or like any of the other Lisa episodes that come up. I would say though it is one of the better episodes for Lisa, and I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's not. It had its flaws. It has its little moments, but to say the least, it does. It is a true learning lesson for Lisa, especially for those who love Lisa. This definitely is an episode for you. It's a really awesome one for Lisa Loud.
Yeah, definitely. Like what I love is that like seasons 5 and up are showing Lisa at her best. Like season 5 and 6 do prove that Lisa Loud is more than just the female Dexter.
She does, yeah. I mean, look, she is a gifted child. At the same time, she also does have her like jerky moments, but at the same time, she's just a kid. And now she's like growing up as a kid now. So I say, it is cool to actually see the gifted part in her, but at the same time, the child part in her too.
Definitely, that's what makes I Kent so iconic. And let me tell you, I am so glad we talked about this episode.
Sounds good. All right, let's move on to our next episode. That aired on was it April 15th. It is called Dine and Dash, actually. Sorry, not Dine and Dash. So the synopsis here is after failing to make Chef Guy Grazer a meal on his show, the kids try to erase his footage before it goes on air. Now, the episode begins as Todd would pick up all the kids to the table. I'm telling you, Todd is now becoming part of the family. They would help their dad with the rush of customers and their orders. And it seems that everyone does their job right to make sure the customers were satisfied. First off, how do you like this whole antic here where we get to see the whole family work together to get Lynn's table up and running, making sure that they're not all not all going to be in a busy worry work to say.
Oh my gosh, let me tell you, it really warms my heart to see this. It really does. The Loud kids coming to help their dad with the rush and help make his restaurant successful. It's just so wholesome to me. Oh my God, I just love it. It's one of those scenes that really emphasizes the theme of family in this show. It shows how much they care about their father, Lynn Sr., and want to see his business thrive, and they help in their own ways, from taking orders to counting money in the bill, to washing dishes, to preparing food. Excuse me, like They really do feel like a legitimate restaurant team in terms of not just the quantity of the team, but also the quality and the hard work that is within the team themselves. It's just, I love this so much, and I want to see more of this. I want to see more of the Loud Kids playing the parts to pretty much help Lynn's table. Keep Lynn's table up and running by doing what they do here in this episode. It is just so beautiful.
I gotta say the same thing too. I feel like after having Lynn's table for a lot of seasons, it makes sense for them to continue to cooperate and actually help their dad out. It just tells you like they are a huge family and that they are, and of course it comes for family first for them, and no doubt about it, they absolutely love to actually make sure Lynn's table succeeds. So they'll do whatever it takes, even if it does like take them behind with their homework. They at least were able to actually help their father out, especially when it comes to, you know, their busy moments, especially in Lynn's table. So, props out to what family does, because it is awesome to see family work together.
It really is. It really is. It just, oh my god, like already one of the best scenes in the entire show. And no, I'm not exaggerating.
Oh yeah. So this sort of help would continue as the kids decide to work for Lynn's table for the whole dinner rush. But it all seems well until Chef Grazer actually comes into the doors, and he's actually going to start filming for his show. This will be a predicament for the kids as they turn out to go all bad for in the eyes of Chef Grazer. Knowing that they did a bad job, the kids have one thing in mind: to get rid of the video before it goes on air. How'd you like the scenes as the kids try to impress Chef Grazer in the situation?
Yeah, so it turns out that Gordon Ramsay, I mean Guy Grazer, just showed up to the restaurant, and in very inconvenient timing too, since Lynn Sr. is outperforming. But of course, these are such wonderful kids, of course, so they try their hardest and their ding dangest to impress the guy. However, Guy ends up
Oh.
leaving the restaurant shortly after they give him the meals and after they air the show of Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Ambush. And that's what the Louds end up thinking that, well, Lynn's table is officially screwed. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be.
So yeah, I mean, look, the thing is that they had this whole good streak rolling where they actually had a good dinner rush and everything. But when it comes to Chef Grazer, I mean, obviously, make sure it makes sense the kids gets it nervous. I remember like where they try to get the order, like Lucy tries to get his order, and then he ends up getting heckled. I remember they also tried to get the same appetizer to them, and they ended up giving him so many appetizers. They also tried to cook food for him, but then the cookbook was dirty because was it Letty mixed the mixed the food with the cookbook, and I'm like, God damn it, Letty. So yeah, they were in a predicament to say, and it makes sense why they were so nervous throughout the whole entire episode, considering that Chef Grazer just pretty much hated the food, and well, quote unquote hated the food, and then walked out of Lynn's table, and obviously it makes sense why the kids ended up being so nervous, like they needed to get that footage back and everything. So yeah, they kind of screwed themselves over. So yeah, so yeah, I mean, they're in a bad predicament. They need to get the footage before things get worse. So soon Todd would be able to come into the scene to chase Guy's van and try to stall him as they try to retrieve the video file. Now, first off, it didn't work out, as the show would be able to broadcast throughout the town and even destroyed some satellites from different countries. Oh boy, Lisa's little devices are not good.
Yeah, as we've seen in I Can't, they tend to backfire.
Yeah, I apparently he destroyed like Norwegian and Iceland satellites. How do you like the effort? How do you like this whole effort of the family trying to save Lynn's table?
I just really love it. I love that. I love their journey to save Lynn's table because, like I said before, it really does show how the Loud Kids truly care about Lynn's table and they care about their father specifically to keep his business up and running. So they do whatever it takes to make sure that Lynn's table doesn't, go upside down, doesn't flip in a sense, flip the table. So anyway, so they do whatever they can to help, and by doing so, they follow Guy Grazer and they try to get the device. They try to get the video file so that they can delete it in order to save the restaurant. but unfortunately, it seems like it's too late because, well, the episode of Kitchen's Ambush ends up showing anyway.
I have a feel. I like the whole scene where like Todd would pick him up, and then they tried to do their best to make sure that they get the video file. I do like get them into Sean Wanda's get what was it, Chef Gracer into Sean Wanda's Fresh Mex Buffet to do a show there too, in order for them to get the video file back. I love the fact that like they even went to the whole was the station, and then they tore down a satellite, but it turned out to be just a historic artifact. Um, and so I guess the satellite doesn't work. And I love the fact that like even once they tried to like, well, I don't know what's up with Lisa's inventions, but literally she destroys satellites, so she can actually destroy a satellite from a different country. And it's like, wow, you can take down Norwegian's satellite or Iceland's satellite, even the U.S. satellite. And I'm like, okay, Lisa has way too much in her hands. Like she could be evil if you actually twist her the wrong way. She could be turned evil.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, watch out for Lisa. She has all this gizmos and stuff. We get it, she's a genius, but I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe she's gone too far when it comes to these technologies.
No, we've seen Lisa go crazy with them. Let me just say she doesn't screw around.
Right. So watch out for Lisa, guys. So first off, so unfortunately they were not able to stop the footage. So when they got home, Lynn Sr. was able to watch the episode. The kids would apologize to their dad, but it seems like Guy Grayson would give up a good rating in the show. So how'd you like this whole twist in the ending to the episode?
I really do like this twist because it really does show how Guy Grazer does have a soft spot for this kind of thing where Guy Grazer is very touched, just like we are, by how dedicated and how helpful the Loud Kids are towards their dad and the food business. And so he decides to pretty much give it a thumbs up to pretty much compliment them. And it really does show, it really does highlight Gordon Ramsay as it really does highlight how the Loud writers really do capture the parody of Gordon Ramsay when it comes to Guy Grazer because just like Gordon Ramsay, Guy Grazer, while he could come off like as a yelling maniac and especially with his show, it shows how he has a soft spot and he's able to acknowledge when there's genuine effort and genuine heart put into a restaurant or food. And that's what he sees in these Loud Kids. So honestly, I'm very happy for them.
I think the review that Chef Grazer did just pretty much put it on point there. That the thing is that, yeah, the food could be mediocre, but at the same time, he loves the dedication that the family has done. I think this whole episode pretty much has a lesson pretty much all implemented in that ending there, where it is pretty much the family that has pretty much kept this kept the restaurant all together. And Chef Grazer saw that, and when he actually puts it up in public, that just tells you like, yeah, this restaurant's amazing, just because the Louds are definitely supportive of each other, especially in this restaurant. Unfortunately, he would love to go back, but with Lynn Sr. actually cooking. So that's going to be another episode that we want to see.
Yes.
But yeah, I think the whole lesson was pretty much taught there. Like the whole family does stick together and they all do work together, especially when it comes to situations like having a big celebrity chef coming into your restaurant out of nowhere to give you a bad rating. So it's good to see them actually, be good in this episode.
Definitely.
Now, here's the other thing too. I don't know what's going on with Grant, but apparently Grant is some sort of wizard now. Do you want Grant to pursue his magic skills?
Grant Palmer goes from original Lincoln Loud to full-on wizard.
No. I understand, but the other thing too is like I get it. You're a nerd. LARPing. I've seen Hawkeye. I know what happened to them.
Yeah.
I didn't expect this from Grant, but I guess Grant is a nerd.
Grant is pretty much us, except we cosplay in cons. We don't really LARP. We put on costumes for cons though.
Right, exactly. All right. Anything else you want to bring up from this episode?
Yes. I have to say though, like just like Guy Grazer, I was absolutely touched by how big of a role the Loud Kids played in terms of keeping the Lynn's Table business up and running. And let me tell you, I definitely want to see more of this, like more future episodes where it features the Loud Kids helping out in Lynn's Table. I want to see more of that because let me tell you, like it was generally heartwarming to see kids their age be such, how they put it, have such a good work ethic.
I actually have to say the same thing too. I just love the whole lesson in this episode where we get to see the family work together when it comes to situations, actually having like a celebrity chef give you a bad rating and everything. So no doubt about it. This definitely does point out the point that families do stay together and work together to make sure everybody succeeds. How would you rate this episode?
I would honestly put this an 8.5 out of 10. Like, while I do feel that the episode could have focused just a bit more on the loud kids helping out in Lynn's table restaurant, like serving food to the customers, and especially the guy Grazer, like more so than the wild goose chase that we saw. Not that the wild goose chase is bad, because that also plays a part. That also emphasizes on how dedicated the loud kids are to help Lynn's table be up and running. But like I loved the way the loud kids showed it by legitimately working at the Lynn's table. I love that aspect much more. But overall, I really loved this episode as a whole. And this episode really does emphasize the theme of family, like I said, because it shows how dedicated these kids are to helping their father in any way they can. And it shows such a strong work ethic, making them such good role models for kids watching.
I feel like this lesson definitely does help the fact that family does stick together, that they should work together, especially in times of need. No doubt about it. It definitely shows when the Louds had to step up to work with Lynn's table to make sure that Chef Grace doesn't give that bad rating, and the fact that it did pull off well in the end. So to say, and then the other thing too is like, yeah, I love the whole chase scene and everything. It's definitely all about the kids, and it definitely showed that they definitely are really the focus in this episode, and really the focus on what makes this like restaurant really good. Episode overall was all right, not the best to say, but I do love the whole message that they portray in the end. I gotta give this an 8 out of 10. No doubt about it. Okay of an episode, but to say the least, one that I say is manageable and also a good life lesson to learn from.
Definitely. And also, Guy Grazer is a spot on parody of Gordon Ramsay.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, he obviously parodying Gordon Ramsay. Hopefully, it'd be funny if we actually have Gordon Ramsay in the show. Anyways, let's move on to our next episode, and it's the final episode that also aired on April 15th. It's called Sofa So Good. The episode synopsis here is: the kids search for their missing furniture after they left it outside while cleaning. Now, the episode starts with the parents giving a quote-unquote surprise to the kids after having a whole entire week without disaster. Now, the thing is, they would go and retrieve it, but with the kids alone at home, the probability of them getting to another disaster is imminent, according to Lisa. Apparently, like, oh, a surprise is coming. And then they start to get all fussy, which, in Lisa's point, it actually happened. They ended up actually messing up the whole entire house. So were you surprised at all that this would happen, like what Lisa says?
Oh my gosh, like, not only could she predict the time, not only could she predict the time run in I Can't, but she could also predict the probability of a disaster happening. Like, is Lisa like some sort of like psychic or something? Does she some sort of Lisa must be some sort of fortune teller or something like that. Hey, that's Lucy's job, okay? That's Lucy's job, okay? But anyway,
I don't know. It feels like Lisa is like, I guess, a know-it-all now. Can
anyway,
actually like look into the future or something.
It honestly doesn't surprise me that, of course, the couch does break, and the Louds do feel bad about it. And so, and still, what happened was that after the house collapses, they decide to fix it. Of course, like taking an element from the previous episode and using an element of family teamwork to pretty much work together to rebuild the house. And then after that, things don't go so well as the items and materials and furniture that they put outside. Yeah, let's just say that the fate of what happens to them doesn't end up going so well, and we'll touch upon that right now.
Yeah, and I'm kind of like surprised about that. I mean, like, yeah, Lisa might be that know-it-all who actually like knows when things will happen. I feel like I feel like after 6 seasons, she'll know like when things will happen. Like, oh yeah, we have something coming up. Oh, we will going to mess it up, and hence look what happened. So yeah, it's funny. Like they just continue to just chill on the couch. And then sooner or later, after a big fight cloud, the whole entire house is ruined. I'm like, how did that happen? Like you even get Luann stuck in the roof, like literally on top of the roof with her chair up there. I'm like, wow, this is a huge fight. But yeah, they mess up the house and they have to clean everything up, which is pretty much typical Loud House fashion. So yeah, the Louds will do whatever it takes to clean up the house, but they forgot that their furniture was taken outside by the city's trash folks. Now it's all out. Now it's pretty much an all-out mission for them to pretty much retrieve their furniture back. But as they head to the dump, it's all gone because who would you expect? Flip, out of all people, would take them all. So explain your thoughts on these couple of scenes here, where like the furniture got taken by the trash guys. Flip ends up picking up all the furniture, and now they have to like figure out how to find it and all.
Yeah, it turns out that they got themselves to a bit of a situation.
Wow.
Oh my god, I'm still in bounce from the end. It's So pretty much what happened was that I like how they split into teams in order to get a particular piece of furniture. Like you got Luna and Luann teaming up together. You got Lana and Lucy teaming up together. You got Lenny and Lola teaming up together. Okay, I think this episode is trying to tell us something. Like I think this is pretty much. I really hope that this is a sign. Loud House. This is a sign. This is a sign that you need episodes that are pretty much focused on these specific duos. We want a Luna and Luann episode. We want a Lenny and Lola episode. We want a Lana and Lucy episode. Please give us that, okay? We want more of these. Thank you. And also, so you got some other teams, which are the Dream of Lily Dream duo of Lisa and Lily, and you got the Dis the Cook duo of Lincoln and Lynn.
So yeah, I mean, okay, so I'm not surprised here where they look. The thing is that Lynn would put the furniture out there. I found it weird that like if the furniture's out there, it's immediately like taken away from trash people, and it was apparently the trash people thought it was trash, and then they immediately take it. And I'm like, is it supposed to be recycling day right now? I guess it's so random where like trash people ended up picking it up and then put it into the dump. And FYI, no surprise here that Flip would be that person to actually like take the stuff and actually sell it. That's kind of his thing. And I'm sorry, guys, but Flip's still being Flip, everybody. I know y'all still hate him, but
who else but Flip, right?
Right. Then, yeah, Flip apparently is still the person that everyone hates. I mean, in this episode, I kind of hate him too, because it's like, oh, now you have the kids pretty much like killing their allowances for them to get their stuff back. So yeah, the kids would go to Flip's, retrieve the furniture, but Flip already has sold those furnitures out to those kids, out to those people around town. After giving a tiara to Flip, the Louds would get a map of who's got which furniture, and soon it was an all-out race to get them back. I mean, I love the fact that they do have the teams, like what you said, Omid, where you get Luna and Luann looking for a certain item, Lisa and Lily looking for an item, Lynn and Lincoln looking for an item, all that. I mean, I thought that was actually pretty cool to do that. How do you like the effort of them just trying to get the furniture back and all?
I really do like how they pretty much do whatever they can to pretty much get the furniture back. Of course, you got Lynn throwing the shoes and pretty much trying to get the attention. By the way, she has just as good aim as Rosa does with a chancla.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. Like, what is about this shoes thing? Apparently, Lynn loves throwing shoes.
Like, I want to see like Lynn and Rosa get into like a shoe throwing competition.
Oh,
that'd be something.
Is this a sign or something that we're gonna have a chancla fight?
Oh gosh.
The other thing too is that okay, so we actually do get to see like Lynn and Lincoln get the item. We also get to see Lucy and Lana get the TV. But there's some others that don't actually get their like 5 seconds of fame. Like we didn't see Luann and Luna get their item. We don't get to see
where
Lisa
were they?
Lily.
Where was the scene with
we
them?
don't know where have they been? Yeah, we got to see like Lenny and Lola get their item, and like everybody else, like those two items for like those people, for example. We didn't actually get to see that. So I'm like, it'd be cool to actually see Luna and Luann actually look for I forgot what they were looking for, but it'd be great if they actually had that.
Let me tell you, minus points for not showing a Luna and Luann episode. Just how dare you? How dare you?
Or a moment at least some sort of like some sort of 30-second clip where we get to see like how Luann and Luna was able to retrieve their item.
They didn't give
Or
us
Lil-
Jack Zilch with them.
No, they didn't. And it's unfortunate because I would love to see a Luna and Luann interaction or something.
Seriously. Oh, I love the part where when Lola and Lenny do the bidding, and then
Oh my god, I love that too.
I love Lola tries to outbid the other bidder, but then the other bidder turns out to be Lenny. It's like, oh, this fan is so nice. Like, it turns out to be Lenny all along, but then she accidentally was bidding.
Yeah, it's typical. It's typical Lenny though. It's like
it's typical Lenny, and I love Lenny for that. I love Lenny for that.
Oh man. I really hope that, like what you said, Omi, I really hope we actually do get like episodes of those pairs. Like, I would love to see like a Lenny and Lola episode. We did get a Lori and Lola episode, but why not Lenny and Lola? Or like a Luna and Luann episode, which, you know, we've been begging for so long.
I know. They're my top 2 favorite characters. It's like, not only are they roommates, but they're my 2 favorite characters.
Although it's interesting how they have Lana and Lucy together. It's like, can we actually have a Bug and Ghost episode, I guess?
Exactly. Or better yet, like, you know, have an episode where they fight over like which show to watch. Like, watch the Frog Show or watch the Owl and Witchcraft Show. Nate, you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're trying to do. I know what you're trying to do. Okay, but then we're not incorporated from that network. Okay. Now they would pull it off, but with one setback, their couch wasn't there. So it turns out Flip never actually gave him the location of where it is because he wants to use it for his new ride service. So now the kids will do whatever it takes to get the sofa back from Flip. How do you like this whole kind of teamwork that the kids do to get the sofa back from him?
I really do, because I really do like this because it carries a particular element, which is the Loud family dynamic, the Loud family. The whole Loud family gathering together to team up to accomplish this one goal. It's pretty much something that we haven't been getting recently. Like, it definitely feels like more like a season 1 or season 2 episode in which we've been getting episodes that is focused on the entire Loud kid group as a whole. And I'm glad that they brought that back here, because, like, as much as I love the, you know, solo episodes, especially with where it focuses on Lincoln sisters, I really do like how they're bringing this formula back. It's sort of a callback to season 1. Definitely feels like a season 1 episode to me.
I definitely think it felt like a season 1 episode where they actually get like the whole family working together. It feels like the previous episode, Dine and Dash. And I do love the whole effort where like everybody was working together, like Lola and Lana trying to make sure that Lynn trying to throw a shoe at the Vanzilla so that the parents don't see what was going on. Was it Lola trying to cut the cord to make sure that the sofa is loose from Flip, for example, so that they get their sofa back and everything. So it's like
exactly
great teamwork. Yeah, great teamwork overall for them.
It's great teamwork, and also like very creative, you know. Like, they pretty much pull off various moves in order to get back their stuff, and they do it with such creative writing. Like, honestly, the amount of schemes that went into trying to get the items back is just pure variety, creativity.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. They would pull it off with So now they get the sofa back in their possession just in time as the surprise would come. But before their parents would reveal it, the sofa would be ruined after what it went through. Yeah, a raccoon pretty much ruined it all. The legs are broken, plus the roof also started to collapse. The kids would apologize about the mishaps, but the parents would reveal the surprise to them anyways, which is unfortunately a couch with the same color. Apparently the kids love it. How do you feel about this whole ending where it's pretty much the same couch that they got back?
I will say this though, it would have been nice if it actually was an indoor swimming pool, but that's just me.
I was kind of like, why do we have a same couch? I'm guessing we're going to stick with the same couch. What it could have done is actually change it up a bit, make it a different couch instead of just a regular couch.
like I'm on board with Lincoln's idea, which is an indoor pool, because honestly, it would have been interesting to see like how an indoor pool, that idea would play out. But then again, Link or swim.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, the indoor pool would have been like quite something, especially like kind of link or swim. Oh, although maybe it would be a cool callback though if they ever did that. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah, a couch with the same color. It's pretty much like the same couch that they ended up getting. I'm like, really? We're just gonna be talking about the same couch? I thought we would actually like change the color a little bit. Maybe like make it green. Maybe like have a futon or something like that. It's just why would you continue to have the same thing? It doesn't make
It's
any sense.
it's the same old couch. It's the same
Yeah,
old
it's the same
couch.
old couch. And I'm like, why are you guys hyping the fact that you have the same old couch? I'm like, was this a trick for the loud crowd or was it just, I don't know. It feels like my eyes were like deceiving me. It's like, wait, it's the same couch, guys. Why are you guys all raving about that?
But then again, that couch is the staple of it's a staple item of the Loud House as a whole because you do see them like the Loud family, especially in the intro, at the end of the
Mm.
intro, like all the Loud family gathering together. And you do see various moments with the Louds sitting on that couch. So I think something tells me that it was always meant to be their couch.
Was that supposed to be like a trick or something where we actually reference back to the opening theme song? Maybe that's the reason why the Loud Crew was making this episode.
It could be that. It could be that. I don't know though.
That's quite an interesting little takeaway. That's a good one. But yeah, I felt like the ending was like, why y'all loving the same couch that was pretty much ruined because of you guys? I don't know. Anything else you want to bring up from this episode?
Yes, I love seeing the Loud Kid episode, the group of Loud Kids working together back to back, back to back.
Mhm.
Now, this one isn't quite as strong as Dine and Bash, in my opinion, but it was still quite a ride. And no, I'm not talking about Flip's Love Ride, all right? I'm talking about the actual ride.
Yeah, let's just say like this episode was kind of interesting. I have nothing really much to say here, but um yeah, I would say this was definitely more for the family, especially with these two episodes coming into the same day. It just makes you feel like the family is more of the focus in these two episodes. Okay, so how would you rate So Far So Good?
I would rate this a 7.5 out of 10. Not the strongest I've seen of the Loud Kid group episodes, but it was still, like I said, it was still engaging to see the pairs, especially. Of course, the jokes do land, and of course, the the action in which they try to chase Flip was quite thrilling. Of course, each and every way that they go on about getting their respective stuff was, creative and unique in their own way. And then, of course, the twist itself, like at the ending, in which they get a new couch, but it ends up being the same old color, the same old style. Was a bit anticlimactic, but honestly, at the end of the day, like I said before, I think it was always meant to be the couch because it's been there for the beginning. All right, like it's pretty much one of their staple items, so I could definitely understand that. Overall, pretty good episode that is, a callback to the other episodes where the Loud family, where the Loud kids would work together, like they gather in a
I
sense.
would say I would say this though, it wasn't really like the best family episode, but I gotta say, you know what? The point of the whole fact is that the Loud kids will still work together to make sure everything's all solved. Kind of feels like what is it? It's a loud house again, where they actually all work together to get like treasure to say. Um, so it kind of feels that way. Like I know that they're trying to work together to make sure everything is all fixed and all. And I feel like Dine and Bash was definitely better compared to like So Far So Good. If the ending was actually a whole lot better, come on guys, a surprise could be better than just the same old couch, okay? So yeah, not the best of episodes here for the Loud House. So I gotta give this a 7 out of 10. It's all right to say, but there's a lot of flaws that comes to this episode. I would have gotten this a whole lot lower, but I think the whole point of the family aspect of the episode made me think this is actually better than just a 6 or 5 out of 10. But yeah, not bad for So Far So Good. All right, that's pretty much it for our episode reviews. We want to thank you all for listening in after our very long break. Omid celebrated his awesome 30th birthday, and I, went to the Amphibia Art Gallery. But to say the least, we all had a great time. I'm sorry that we left you guys out in the dust. But yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
glad to be back to actually doing these
at
reviews.
least we're back now, guys. At least we're back now after a much needed vacation from doing what we're doing here. And let me tell you guys, because of how we spent our April, let me tell you, like we're much more energized to do this now. So thank you all for your patience.
All right. Well, just remember that you can listen to our Loud Casa Talks podcast wherever you listen to podcasts on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. Our podcast will be available for you guys to listen to, and also that you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can subscribe to, hit the red button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, so you can be notified of when we're going to be coming in next on our YouTube channel. We don't know when our next Loud Casa Talks will be, but I do promise y'all we are going to be back next month with a brand new episode of the Loud Casa Talks. We still need to figure out how we're going to move forward when it comes to this next topic. So that's why we're kind of delaying it. So just stay tuned. Get into our Loud Casa Talks Twitter so you can get to see when our next Loud Casa Talks episode will be. But yeah, that's pretty much it for us here. Thank you all for watching and checking out our episode reviews for the Loud House. But I believe we don't have much Loud House episodes or Casa Grande's episodes coming up, huh? So I guess we'll have a while before our next review.
Yeah, but we still got Casa Grande's episodes to review. Of course, there's one in particular I am very excited to talk about. You're going to see which one.
All right, sounds good. And that's pretty much it for us here. Thank you very much for listening in to our live stream. Hope you guys enjoyed our reviews. My name is Nate.
And this is a me thing. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for listening. And thank you especially for your patience while we were away. Like it feels so good to be back. And it feels so good to especially do this now. Like this is my first episode as a 30-year-old. So honestly, that's what makes me so excited to do this even more. So until next time, smell you later, Louds.